I always like to tap into your expertise on this topic. As always, you have such a deep understanding of ancient texts, philosophical ideas. What should our listener keep in mind as we kind of embark on this poetic journey through the Gita?
Well, I think the most important thing is to keep in mind the context. The Bhagavad Gita is part of this epic, the Mahabharata.
Right.
And these verses that we're going to be looking at are spoken by Krishna, an incarnation of the divine, to the warrior Arjuna, right on the eve of this huge battle.
Yeah.
And Arjuna's facing this moral crisis. He's torn between his duty as a warrior and his love for his family, who happen to be, on the opposing side.
Right.
And Krishna's words offer guidance, I think, not just for Arjuna in this predicament, but for anyone who's grappling with those really difficult choices in life.
All right. I'm Satosha.
And I'm Satoshi.
And today we're going to be focusing on Chapter 1. And we are both English natives, so please forgive us if we mispronounce any of the Sanskrit terms.
Yeah, and we want to be super respectful of this text.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's an important religious text. We're going to be moving very slowly and deliberately through it. Yeah.
And this text is really a cornerstone of Hindu philosophy. And we're going to see how its wisdom can still offer insights for us even today.
Absolutely.
Now, when you first open up this chapter, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed
That's too bad.
by the sheer number of names,
Right.
lineage of warriors and leaders that are all assembled on a battlefield.
Yeah, it can be a little bit daunting to keep track of everyone right off the bat. Right. And it is important to keep in mind that while all of these figures are mentioned, the core of the Bhagavad Gita really lies in the dialogue between two central figures,
Right.
Arjuna and Krishna.
Arjuna, the warrior prince, and Krishna, his charioteer and guide.
So with that focus in mind, let's step onto the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So where should we start? I think we should start with the Kauravas,
Okay.
and really with Duryodhana.
Yeah.
He's the ambitious prince, driven by a relentless desire for the throne.
He is.
And the text describes him surveying his ranks, just brimming with initial confidence.
Yes.
And Sanjaya, our narrator, paints a very vivid picture of Duryodhana's pride.
And his confidence is certainly bolstered by the presence of warriors like Bhishma.
The revered patriarch of the Kuru clan.
Exactly.
And, his loyalty to the throne, regardless of who sits upon it.
Yes.
It's unwavering, even though he harbors doubts about Duryodhana's righteousness.
And alongside Bhishma stand other formidable figures.
Yes.
Karna.
Karna, the skilled archer. Drona, the master of warfare.
Yes.
And teacher to both the Kauravas and the Pandavas.
And he's torn, isn't he, between his students?
He is.
The Kaurava army is truly a tapestry of complex characters,
It is.
each with their own motivations and loyalties,
Absolutely.
adding depth and intrigue to the narrative.
It does. It really does.
Now, facing the Kauravas are the Pandavas.
Led by Arjuna,
Yeah.
the central protagonist of the Gita.
Yes. Arjuna is known for his exceptional skill as an archer, but more importantly for his noble character
Yes.
and unwavering pursuit of Dharma. And significantly, his charioteer is Lord Krishna.
This is where things get interesting.
Yes.
Because Krishna's presence elevates the conflict beyond a mere political struggle.
Right.
It becomes a battle for the soul,
Yes.
a quest for understanding the true nature of existence
Right.
and the path to liberation.
As these two colossal armies stand poised for battle, the air vibrates with the sound of conch shells being blown.
It's a cacophony.
Yes. It's interesting. The text describes the unique sound of each conch. The Devadatta of Arjuna, the Panchajanya of Krishna.
It's as if each warrior has their own unique voice,
Yeah.
merging into this tumultuous sound.
Now, before we move on to the emotional turmoil that unfolds within Arjuna, I think it's important to understand the significance of the battleground itself.
Kurukshetra.
Kurukshetra, exactly.
It's not just a random piece of land. It holds immense religious and historical weight.
It derives its name from King Kuru,
Yes.
Kurukshetra, meaning the field of Kuru.
Now, what's interesting is that Kurukshetra isn't just some abstract mythical location.
Right.
It's a real city.
It is.
The administrative headquarters of the Kurukshetra district in Haryana, India.
And it's got real coordinates, too.
Yeah.
About 30 degrees north latitude and 77 degrees east longitude.
So it makes it tangible.
Yeah.
This isn't happening in some far-off, unimaginable place.
Exactly.
It's rooted in the history and geography of our world.
And the blessings bestowed upon Kurukshetra were twofold. First, the land became eternally holy.
A sacred pilgrimage site for Hindus.
And second, anyone who dies on this land, regardless of their actions in life, attains heaven.
They are about to engage in this deadly battle on a land considered sacred.
I know.
A land where death is seen as a gateway to heaven.
It creates a profound paradox.
It does.
Kurukshetra, a place associated with dharma and spiritual liberation, is about to become the stage for a devastating war fueled by greed, ambition, and the thirst for power.
It's a clash of opposites.
It is. It's the genius of the Bhagavad Gita. By setting the stage for this monumental clash on such hallowed ground, it forces us to confront the complexities of human nature.
Absolutely.
The conflict between our higher aspirations and our baser instincts.
It's a theme that runs throughout the text.
And, this duality, this tension between the sacred and the profane, permeates the entire narrative and really sets the stage for Arjuna's internal struggle. And the text really emphasizes this epic scope. When Dhritarashtra, the blind king and father of the Kauravas, asks Sanjaya, "O Sanjaya, tell after assembling for the fight, my sons and those of Pandu on Kurukshetra's sacred ground, what deeds unfolded there, what actions could be found?"
It's almost as if we're kind of eavesdropping on this conversation that's going to change the course of history. And from this point on, Sanjaya becomes our narrator. So Sanjaya responds with this calmness that contrasts sharply with Dhritarashtra's anxiety.
Yes.
Sanjaya then spoke his voice serene and deep. O King Duryodhana, his watchful vigil, to keep observed the Pandava force in battle lines arrayed, and to his trusted teacher these very words he conveyed. And then we shift our focus to Duryodhana,
Yes.
the leader of the Kauravas, as he surveys his vast army. O my respected guru, did Duryodhana declare, "Behold the mighty army beyond compare of Pandu's noble sons, so skillfully aligned by your own brilliant student of Drupada's mind"?
Yeah.
Even in this moment of impending war, clinging to this belief that his actions are justified, that they're righteous.
Within this grand formation, brave archers stand with might as strong as Bhima Arjuna prepared to fiercely fight great warriors. Also gather Yuthana bold and true, with Virata and Drupada a valiant, noble crew.
This catalog of warriors, each with their unique epithets like bold and true and valiant noble crew, it serves a dual purpose. On the one hand, it's a display of Duryodhana's confidence, right? His belief in the strength of his forces. But on the other hand, it subtly foreshadows those individual heroes who are going to clash on this battlefield,
Right.
each with their own motivations and destinies.
But for your kind attention, O Brahman of great fame, the captains of my forces, I shall now distinctly name those specially qualified their leadership to guide our mighty warriors wherever they may go. There are such noble figures like you, revered and wise, with Bhishma Karna Kripa, whose valor never dies, and Ashvathama Vikarna of great renown and might, with Purisrava, son of Somadatta, ever victorious in fight.
It's interesting how he includes his teacher,
Right.
his Brahmin of great fame, in this list of leaders.
Yes.
It speaks to the importance of mentorship and guidance in this warrior culture. It's as if he's drawing strength from the legacy of his ancestors,
Yes.
using their names to kind of bolster his own confidence and rally his troops.
But there's this hint of desperation in his tone, isn't there?
Almost a need to believe in his own righteousness.
Yes.
That perhaps masks some deeper insecurities.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And many other heroes with courage burning bright, prepared to sacrifice their lives for me and for my right, with diverse weapons, armed and skill in warfare, keen in military science their expertise has been. Our strength is vast, unmeasured, a boundless surging tide by grandfather Bhishma protected, our forces stand with pride. But the strength of the Pandavas, though guarded by Bhima's hand, is limited and finite across this sacred land.
The language here shifts towards the metaphorical with phrases like courage burning bright and boundless surging tide.
Yes.
It evokes this sense of overwhelming force.
Right.
It's almost as if Duryodhana is trying to convince himself and his teacher of their inevitable victory.
Yes. Now all of you assembled, your steadfast support must lend to Grandfather Bhishma's guidance. Your energies extend as you stand at your positions, strategic and defined at the entry points and pathways within our battle line.
This attention to detail, this emphasis on strategy and discipline, it suggests a level of tactical thinking that contrasts with Duryodhana's emotional outbursts.
Right.
He's not just a reckless warrior.
Right.
He's a cunning strategist. Then Bhishma, grandsire valiant of Kuru's noble race, the grandfather of warriors in that momentous place, blew his great conch shell loudly, a lion's mighty roar, and filled Duryodhana's spirit with joy unknown before.
This description of Vishnu is so steeped in tradition and lineage,
Absolutely.
emphasizing his age, his experience, his connection to the Kuru dynasty.
He's not just a warrior.
Right.
He's a symbol of the past, a living embodiment of the values and ideals that Duryodhana claims to champion.
Yes, a lion's mighty roar.
It evokes this sense of primal power and ferocity and dominance.
Yes.
It's as though Bhishma's presence alone is enough to inspire both awe and terror in the hearts of his enemies.
Then conch shells and kettle drums with bugles, trumpets high, and horns resounded suddenly throughout the earth and sky, a tumultuous vibration, a deafening mighty sound upon the Kurukshetra battlefield did powerfully abound.
The language here is so visceral. It's using this torrent of words to create this sense of overwhelming sensory overload.
And then we shift our focus to the other side of the battlefield. Krishna and Arjuna on chariot holy ground, drawn by white steeds of glory. Their sacred duty bound their transcendental instruments, their victory did propound.
The imagery here is far more refined, more spiritual than the bombastic description of the Kaurava forces.
Lord Krishna blew his Panchajanya, a sound divine, and Grand Arjuna blew Devadatta across the waiting land. And Bhima, the great eater of Herculean, might in main his Pondra, a terrific blast upon the battle plain.
It's fascinating how each conch shell is given a name, a unique identity reflecting the distinct qualities of the warrior who blows it.
Yes.
Krishna's Panchajanya is described as having this sound divine and grand,
Yes.
reinforcing his divine nature and the cosmic significance of his role in this conflict. These descriptions not only bring the conch shells to life,
Right.
but they also foreshadow the unique roles each warrior will play in this epic battle.
Yes.
It's this subtle but powerful way of weaving character development and symbolism into the narrative, enriching our understanding of the individuals involved.
So the text then proceeds to list the remaining Pandava brothers and their allies.
Yes.
King Yudhishthira Kunti's son, his Anantavijaya blew, Nakula and Sahadeva, their Sugosha strong and new, and Manipushpika sounded a vibrant echoing call, the archer king of Kashi, renowned by one and all, Shikandi mighty fighter, with Gristadumna near and Varata unconquerable, dispelling every fear Satyaki of valor great and Drupada. The Bil Draupadi's sons united their conch shells did unfold, and he, the mighty armed one, Subhadra's noble son, each warrior present there, his sacred duty done.
This roll call of warriors, each with their conch shell and their unique epithet.
Yeah.
It serves to highlight the unity and diversity of the Pandava forces.
Yes.
It's a reminder that this isn't just Arjuna's battle.
Right.
It's a conflict that involves countless individuals, each with their own motivations, their own allegiances, and their own destinies intertwined in this epic struggle.
Yes. The blowing of these conch shells, a clamorous rising tide vibrating through the heavens and earth on every side. It shattered the very hearts of Dhritarashtra's proud array as omens of their downfall unfolded on that day.
That comparison to a clamorous rising tide, it's so striking. It evokes this sense of overwhelming force,
Yes.
and an unstoppable wave of sound that washes over the battlefield, shaking the very foundations of the earth. It's as though the Pandavas' unity, their righteous purpose, has manifested in this sound, undermining the confidence of their opponents and foreshadowing their eventual downfall.
So we then shift our focus back to Arjuna, who seems to have regained his composure, at least momentarily. Then Arjuna, son of Pandu, in his chariot, did reside. His banner marked with Hanuman, with valor and with pride he took his mighty bow then, and arrows made him ready. And seeing Dhritarashtra's sons, his voice grew firm and steady to Lord Krishna. Then he spoke his heart with purpose, fraught the words that Arjuna uttered with deep emotion fraught.
This description of Arjuna with his banner marked with Hanuman, the monkey god, known for his strength and devotion, suggests this renewed sense of purpose, this determination to fulfill his duty as a warrior.
So in the next two verses, Arjuna makes this seemingly simple request to Krishna. Arjuna spoke, O Krishna, infallible and true prey, draw my chariot forward these armies to review between the ranks of battle. Let it swiftly glide, that I may see those present who have come to fight with pride, and those with whom in this great war my strength I must employ in this momentous trial of arms where fates we shall deploy.
On the surface, it seems like just a tactical request, right? that
Yeah.
desire to survey the battlefield and assess the strength of his opponents. But there's this deeper layer of meaning here,
Yes.
this hint of Arjuna's internal turmoil.
Yes, those phrases, momentous trial of arms and fates we shall deploy, really suggest this profound awareness of the gravity of the situation, life or death consequences that are at stake.
It's as though he's seeking clarity, a deeper understanding of the forces arrayed against him, both external and internal.
And his request to be placed between the ranks of battle is particularly symbolic.
The fact that he's about to engage in battle against his own kin.
Then Arjuna clarifies his intentions.
Okay.
Let me behold those warriors who gather on this field with hearts intent on battle. Their destinies revealed those who have come to please him, the evil-minded one, the son of Dhritarashtra, whose wicked deeds are done.
His words reveal this growing awareness of the moral dimensions of this conflict.
Yes.
He's not simply seeking victory.
Right.
He wants to understand the motivations of his opponents, to distinguish between those driven by righteous purpose and those swayed by Duryodhana's evil-minded influence. It suggests that Arjuna is starting to grasp the deeper significance of this conflict.
Right.
The fact that it's not just about personal gain or loss, but about the very fabric of Dharma and the cosmic order.
Yes. And his condemnation of Duryodhana's wicked deeds further underscores this moral divide between the two sides.
And so Krishna fulfills Arjuna's request,
Yes.
effortlessly maneuvering the chariot into a position that allows Arjuna to see the full scope of the battlefield.
He drove the splendid chariot with skill beyond compare, right in the midst of armies suspended in the air.
The description of Krishna's skill is beyond compare, and the image of the chariot suspended in the air suggests this level of power and control that transcends human limitations.
Right.
It hints at Krishna's divine nature, his ability to manipulate the physical world with ease, but also his subtle guidance of Arjuna's perspective, leading him towards this deeper understanding of the situation.
It's as though Krishna is not just a charioteer,
Right.
but a stage manager,
Yes.
carefully orchestrating the events to unfold in a way that will facilitate Arjuna's transformation.
In verse 25, Krishna points out the key figures on the opposing side, many of whom are Arjuna's own kin. In presence of great Bhishma and Drona, wise and old, and all the other chieftains, their stories to be told, the Lord then gently uttered, "Behold, O son of Pritha the Kurus, all assembled here, awaiting cruel war's path."
Krishna's tone here is interesting, isn't it? He's not taunting or provoking Arjuna, but rather presenting the reality of the situation with a certain gentleness, almost a touch of sadness, perhaps.
Exactly. He's not trying to inflame Arjuna's fighting spirit, but to guide him towards a deeper understanding of the complexities of this conflict. He addresses him as son of Pritha, reminding him of his lineage and the weight of tradition that bears down on him.
And that weight becomes almost unbearable as Arjuna, in verse 26, fully grasps the horrific truth of what he's about to face. There, Arjuna then witnessed a sight that caused him pain within the opposing forces again, and yet again his fathers, grandfathers, present teachers of great skill, maternal uncles. Brothers too, his heart began to chill his sons and grandsons, gathered with friends he held so dear, and fathers-in-law also stood with well-wishers held near.
This is the turning point of the chapter, the moment where Arjuna's internal conflict comes to the forefront. He sees not just enemies, but loved ones, family, friends, mentors, all poised to kill and be killed in this senseless war. It's a reminder that war is not just an abstract concept, a clash of ideologies or political ambitions. It's a brutal reality that tears apart families, communities, the very fabric of human connection. And Arjuna, in this moment, fully grasps the human cost of this conflict.
When Kunti's noble son Arjuna cast his gaze on all these different kinsmen in battle's fierce displays, his heart was overwhelmed with compassion's gentle sway, and thus to Lord Krishna these words he did convey.
This is such a crucial moment because it reveals a side of Arjuna that contrasts sharply with the image of the warrior hero. He's not just a skilled archer, a powerful fighter, but a man capable of deep empathy and compassion. And this conflict is about to spill out in a torrent of anguished words as Arjuna begins to question everything he thought he knew about duty, honor, and the very meaning of life. His next few verses are a powerful expression of despair, a cry for understanding from the depths of his soul.
Arjuna said, "O Krishna dear, as I behold this sight, my friends and close relations prepare to fiercely fight. The limbs upon my body begin to quake and reel, and in my parched and anxious mouth no moisture can I feel."
The text doesn't shy away from the visceral reality of Arjuna's experience. His body trembles, his mouth dries up, his senses are overwhelmed by the horror of what he's witnessing. It's a reminder that emotional trauma can have such a profound physical impact. And this disintegration continues in verse 29 as Arjuna describes the further deterioration of his physical and mental state. My very frame is trembling, my hair stands on its end. The Gandiva, my mighty bow, its grip. I can't defend it, slips from my weakening hand, my skin with fever burns as dread and apprehension to every nerve returns. The language here is so rich with sensory detail, conveying the intensity of his experience. The trembling, the hair standing on end, the burning skin, all create this visceral sense of Arjuna's anguish, drawing us into the depths of his suffering.
I cannot stand here longer. My strength has ebbed away. My memory is fading in this distressing day. Misfortune's signs surround me. O Krishna, slayer of the foe, in this impending conflict where seeds of sorrow grow.
His words reveal this sense of hopelessness, a feeling that he's trapped in a nightmare with no escape. His strength is gone, his mind is clouded, and he sees only omens of misfortune, seeds of sorrow that will inevitably blossom into suffering and death. No good can I envision from slaying my own kin in this destructive battle where loss will soon begin. Nor can I wish for victory or kingdom's fleeting claim, nor happiness that follows this act of cruelest aim. He sees the futility of seeking happiness through violence, recognizing that the rewards of conquest, the kingdom's fleeting claim, are ultimately meaningless in the face of the devastation that war unleashes.
O Govinda, tell me truly of what avail to me our kingdom joy or even life in this calamity, when those for whom we long for them stand ready here to die. O Madhusudana, as moments swiftly fly, our teachers, fathers, grandsons, maternal uncles too, and fathers-in-law assembled a sorrowful review, brothers-in-law and kinsmen prepared to face their fate, to give up life and fortune. Before my eyes they wait. Why should I wish to kill them, though they might strike me down? O maintainer of all life, no pleasure can be found. Not even for the three worlds would I engage in fight. What joy in killing Dhritarashtra's sons in morning's fading light.
His words are such a poignant reminder that true happiness cannot be found in material possessions or worldly power. It's a sentiment that resonates across cultures and time, a universal truth that speaks to the deepest yearnings of the human heart. It's a desperate plea, a cry for an alternative path, a way to reconcile his duty with his love, his warrior instincts with his moral conscience.
So how does Krishna, this divine charioteer and guide, respond to Arjuna's anguish?
Well, it's important to remember that we're only at the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita. Chapter 1 has set the stage, introducing the characters, the conflict, and the central questions that will drive the rest of the text. And Arjuna's despair isn't a weakness,
Right.
but a necessary catalyst for this transformative journey that he's about to embark on.
So Krishna's response isn't just going to be a solution to Arjuna's immediate problem,
No.
but the beginning of this profound dialogue.
Yes.
That will explore the nature of reality, the self, and the path to liberation.
A teaching that transcends, the specific context of this ancient battlefield and offers insights that are relevant to all of us regardless of our backgrounds or beliefs.
Exactly. And that's what makes the Bhagavad Gita so compelling.
Yeah. In verse 36, Arjuna goes even further, suggesting that it would be better to be killed than to participate in this slaughter. Sin will surely overcome us if we, these men, should slay these aggressors who confront us upon this fateful day. Therefore, it is not proper to spill their precious blood. What gain? O Krishna, husband of fortune's gentle flood. How could we find true happiness, my kin's untimely end on this Kurukshetra battlefield where sorrows now descend?
This is such a remarkable statement for a warrior to make.
It is.
He's essentially saying that he'd rather die than violate his conscience, than contribute to this cycle of violence and hatred that threatens to consume everyone around him.
That phrase, husband of fortune's gentle flood, is an interesting way to address Krishna.
Yes.
It acknowledges his power and connection to prosperity, but also highlights the irony of seeking fortune through such destructive means.
O Janardana, though these men by greed's dark force possessed see no fault in family strife or friendships dispossessed, why should we who clearly see the crime of families fall engage in such vile actions in answer to sin's call?
This is a crucial point.
Yes.
Arjuna is recognizing that the Kauravas are driven by greed and ambition,
Right.
blinded by their desire for power and control.
Yes.
But he refuses to let their moral blindness dictate his own choice. And this choice, this commitment to a higher moral principle, is what will ultimately set Arjuna apart and pave the way for his transformation.
Yes.
He's beginning to understand that true victory lies not in defeating his enemies on the battlefield, but in conquering the inner demons of greed, hatred, and delusion.
With the destruction of the clan, tradition fades away the ancient family customs in utter disarray, and when the dynasty is lost and ancient ways are gone, the rest of the afflicted house and irreligion is drawn. When irreligion flourishes, O Krishna, dark and deep, the women of the household their purity can't keep. And from this degradation of Vrishni's nodal heir, unwanted progeny arises, causing deep despair.
These verses are often misinterpreted as being misogynistic or regressive, but it's important to understand them in their proper context. Arjuna is not blaming women for the ills of society, but rather lamenting the breakdown of social order and moral values that occurs when family ties are severed and traditions abandoned.
Yes, he's using the imagery of unwanted progeny and the degradation of women to symbolize the chaos and suffering that result from this societal breakdown.
Right.
It's a poetic way of expressing the far-reaching consequences of neglecting dharma, of prioritizing selfish desires over the common good.
Arjuna is essentially arguing that the family with its traditions and values is the foundation of a healthy society.
Right.
And when that foundation is destroyed, the entire structure crumbles, leading to widespread suffering and moral decay.
An increase in unwanted births brings hellish life's domain to families, and those who break tradition's binding chain. The ancestors then suffer, their spirits find no rest because the rites and offerings are utterly suppressed. By evil deeds committed by those who wreck the clan and cause the birth of unwanted ones, a most unholy plan, all community projects fail, and welfare's gentle hand and families' cherished harmony are ruined across the land.
Arjuna is highlighting the interconnectedness of all beings, the idea that our actions have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for those around us and for generations to come.
Yes.
He's suggesting that the destruction of family and tradition creates this ripple effect of negativity that extends far beyond the immediate actors.
In verse 43, Arjuna reveals the source of his understanding of these profound consequences. O Krishna, sustainer of all the peoples, guiding light through disciplic succession, I've heard with all my might that those whose family customs are utterly destroyed forever, in the hellish realms their wretchedness employed.
This verse highlights the importance of tradition and the transmission of wisdom through generations.
Yes.
Arjuna is acknowledging that his understanding comes from the teachings of his elders passed down through this chain of disciplic succession. Arjuna's anguish reaches a peak in verse 44, where he expresses his disbelief and despair at the situation he finds himself in. Alas, how strange this seems to me that we are now prepared to perpetrate such sinful acts, our conscience unprepared, driven by the craving for a kingdom's fleeting bliss, we stand intent on killing our own dear kith and kiss. It's a powerful expression of the inner turmoil that can arise when we're forced to confront the darker aspects of human nature.
Yes.
The potential for violence and cruelty that exists within us all.
Better for me if Dhritarashtra's sons with weapons in their hold should slay me unarmed, unresisting my story to be told upon this field of battle where fates will soon align, than I should raise my hand against this family of mine.
This is a truly radical statement, a complete rejection of the warrior code that has defined Arjuna's life up to this point.
Yes.
He's essentially saying that he would rather be a martyr than violate his conscience.
So the chapter closes with a description of Arjuna's complete emotional and physical collapse. Sanjaya then recounted, "Thus spoke Arjuna brave upon the Kurukshetra field, where warriors sought their grave. He cast aside his mighty bow with arrows sharp and keen, and sank down on his chariot with sorrow's painful scene, his mind overwhelmed with anguish, his spirit filled with grief, as war's grim reality brought him no relief."
This final image of Arjuna, defeated not by his enemies but by his own conscience, is a powerful reminder of the human cost of war.
Yes.
It's a stark portrayal of the psychological and emotional toll that violence takes on individuals and societies.
And it leaves us hanging on the edge of our seats, eager to hear Krishna's response to Arjuna's anguish, a response that will launch one of the most profound and insightful dialogues in human history.
We invite you to join us for our next episode, where we'll begin to explore Krishna's teachings that offer a timeless guide to navigating the complexities of human existence and finding meaning and purpose in a world often filled with suffering and confusion. And remember, this is just the beginning of our exploration.
Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We'll be delving into the teachings of Krishna,
Analyzing the philosophical debates,
and exploring the relevance of the Gita in our modern life.
We'd love to hear your insights and engage in a meaningful dialogue with you.
Until next time, may you find peace and wisdom on your own life's journey.